Здравствуйте.
Hello.
Сегодня первый блок
Today the first part of this episode
выпуска посвящен
is devoted
обзорам
to the
технических
survey of sand art techniques.
Но вначале
But
я хочу вам открыть
firstly, I
маленький
want to
секретик.
reveal a small
Он
secret to
небольшой,
you.
но
It's small
полезный.
but useful.
Когда мы говорили
When we
в
were
прошлый
talking
раз о
about
свойствах
sand
песка,
qualities last time,
я не сказал об одном
I didn't tell you
свойстве,
about one
с
quality.
которым
Everybody
сталкиваются
who
все,
does sand
кто
animation
занимается
is
этим
faced with
искусством.
this,
И оно доставляет достаточно
and this causes serious
серьезную
inconveniences
работу
in
в работе.
work.
Песок
Sand
электризуется.
becomes
И он
electric,
либо начинает
and
липнуть,
it either
смотря,
starts sticking to
притягиваться
everything,
к стеклу, к
to
бортику, к
glass,
рукам,
sides,
либо он
hands,
начинает, наоборот,
or vice
отталкиваться
versa.
и
It starts
отскакивать во все
bouncing
стороны.
and fly in every
И порой
direction.
невозможно
Thus, sometimes
нормально
it's impossible
расчистить
to
пространство,
clear the space
потому что песчинки сразу
as grains
стремятся занять
are trying to
и
move back and stick to
ту
the
зону, которую
area
пытаешься освободить.
you are trying to
Или
clear out.
наоборот, когда ты
Or vice
пытаешься
versa,
провести
when
линию
you are trying to
тёмную,
draw a thin
песчинки
line,
все разбегаются и рассыпаются по
grains scatter around the surface.
полностью, целиком.
It's
Эту
impossible to
проблему
solve
не
this
решить.
problem completely.
Пока.
At least I haven't found the way yet.
Но можно снизить.
But you can
Во-первых,
minimize it.
конечно,
Firstly, there is anesthetic.
антистатик. Это уже кто
Well,
во что
here's
гораздо.
each is in his
В
own
конце концов,
fashion.
подойдут даже
You can even use computer
салфетки
wipes
компьютера
with anti-static
с
effect.
антистатическим эффектом. Они
They will help,
помогут,
but
но
not for a long time,
снизят.
to minimize this effect.
Потому что
Because static electricity appears all the time and it accumulates.
Так вот,
So,
секрет,
about
который
the
я
secret
хотел
I was going to
открыть,
tell you
хотя,
about,
возможно, для многих это
probably it's not a secret for some of
заключается в
you,
том, чтобы определить
you need to
основной
find the
источник.
source of this inconvenient electricity. And when you are working, this
Основным
main source
источником
is you.
являетесь вы сами.
When you are rubbing with your stomach
Животом,
against the side.
и потом
And
уже
then you
передаете
pass this electricity to the table, sand, etc. My advice is simple.
поменьше.
Rub the table less.
Ну, а, например,
For example,
на этом
this
столе,
studio
у
table,
которого
at which I
я стою
spend
часами,
many hours,
у меня с той стороны
there's a rubber
вообще
pad on that
резиновая
side.
прокладка. Вот
I
такой
hope
вот
this tip will be handy
большой,
for you.
полезный, надеюсь, совет. Теперь к теме
Now,
нашего
back to the
занятия.
topic of our meeting,
Технические приемы.
sand art
Sand
techniques.
На самом деле особенное что-то.
As a matter of
сказать
fact,
на эту
it's hard
тему
to
сложно.
say something remarkable on this
Достаточно
topic.
просто
It's enough just
наблюдать
to watch
и изучать работу
and
профессионалов,
study works of
которые
professionals.
представлены широко в интернете.
They can be easily found on the internet,
Движения, все
and
технические
there you can
приемы
find
там
all the
есть.
movements and all the
Можно
techniques.
просто пробовать повторять
You can just
эти движения.
try to copy
И со
these
временем
movements,
эти
and after
приемы
some time,
будут и в
these
вашем
techniques
арсенале,
will be in your
которые
arsenal,
вы
plus those which you will invent yourself.
все так начинали, и
Everybody started like this, and I'm not an
достаточно
exception,
просто это делать.
so just do it,
Много раз.
lots and lots of
Главное,
times.
в процессе
What is
тренировки
really important while
не
practicing,
старайтесь скопировать
don't try
изображение,
to copy
нарисовать
an
похожую
image
картинку.
or draw a
Нет.
similar picture. No.
Сконцентрируйтесь именно
Concentrate
на
on the
на движении.
techniques and
Как
movements,
делает мастер,
how the
как он
master is
захватывает
doing it,
песок, как
how
он
he's
ставит
taking
пальцы, как он
sand,
ведет
how he's
линию
positioning
и
his
так далее.
fingers,
То есть
how he's drawing a
сконцентрируйтесь
line,
именно на технике
etc.
исполнения.
Concentrate hard on the
И со
execution
временем
technique. And with
Вы поймете,
time,
как он это делает.
you'll understand how he does it. Your hands will.
Ведь тем более,
The thing is,
что все
all these techniques,
приемы,
which you
которые
can see
вы
from
наблюдаете
masters,
у мастеров,
were born during the
они
working
все
process.
в процессе работы.
It's not that they were standing and thinking, well, how shall I put my hand or fingers? No, they come into existence on their own record as the most optimum and effective method for this image I'm trying to create.
Ну, а базовые принципы,
Well, the
они, в
basic
общем-то,
principles
простые.
are in fact quite
У
simple.
нас есть или черные
We have
отделы,
either
когда
black
мы
on white,
перекрываем
when we
поток
cover
света,
the flow of
или
light,
белые на черном,
or white
когда
on
мы
black, when we let it flow into this world.
Все, инь-янь.
That's all. Yin or yang.
Линии
Lines,
разной толщины,
different in
разной
thickness and
длины,
length,
черный на белом,
black on white,
белый на черном,
white on
точки,
black, dots,
плоскости.
planes. horizontal pouring, like I've just shown. Surely there is vertical pouring from big areas to tiny details. We can use different parts of our hands, which you really need to do, and you need to practice this. This can be pinches, fist, the same with the clearing the surface, hand, side of your hand, palm, the other side, fingers. Use everything. 2 hands simultaneously, when clearing and when drawing. Absolutely everything. Try. You can climb in there completely with your elbows. The point is, don't be shy. The more experimental and bold you are, the more techniques you are going to master. And you will not bring the whole process to banal sand smearing, or this finger drawing. Try. Go for it. Don't be shy. You can do it. There we go. Well, surely, anyway, experience makes all the difference. Lots and lots of practice and a lot of work. And then, after some time, you won't be considering which technique or part of hand to use for this image. Just like now, you don't consider which foot goes first. Your hands will do it automatically. They'll know that here it's better to do like this. And here only this way and not the other. Here you can lay some sand and outline a counter. Add some lines like this and like that, and some context starts to appear, or vice versa. We cover the area with sand, and with some manipulation we draw a counter of a shape. With just a few movements, besides, apart from fingers, we use the side of our hand, like this, we shape a face. To sum up, with time, with continuous practice and work, your body becomes an effective tool. What is required from you is your soul, your creativity, your talent. Thank you. One more important moment, another one. Apart from images and the ability of sand to communicate motion and transform from shape to shape, apart from this, you must have noticed that almost any sand image has its own state. Even when the image hasn't been completely drawn yet, a figure of a person, or a shape of a tree, or even just movements of sand in a frame, like this or like that, any movements. And yet, we are starting to feel some state, we can predict some story. There is a distinctive feature of sand. Sand can communicate emotion, mood and state. This is its main feature. I'd like you to get it and feel it. This is its main feature. All the other features are subordinate. That's why, in order to tell a story in sand animation, especially in live performance, I, as an author, have to create a series of unique frames. like illustration in a book, which follow one another, and each frame has got to have its own unique state and contain its own energy, and I lead a viewer through the states sequentially to some major idea, to the main and important feeling which I want to share with them. This is what sand animation is about. What I'd like to add here, don't underestimate your viewer, really. A viewer understands hints. A viewer understands gestures, and when you are trying to explain, to put across your idea, trying to make the task easier for them, in reality, you are only overloading your picture. That's efforts down the drain, believe me. If your work has an idea, if it's not fake, if it's real, then a viewer is gonna feel it. They will feel it through hints, simply through your hands movements. They will feel it with their heart, with their soul, right there inside, and they will understand what you are trying to communicate to them. But when there is no such idea, then you have to draw pictures to the music, to bulk out the frame with lots of different images, make it packed and impressive. Well, what else can you do? There is no idea. Thus, you've got to. Well, this is of course a sham. Please, don't do the same. Search for your idea. I am so bold as to state that in the world there are good animation films, real films. That's natural, and thanks God it is so. Today I'd like to share one of them with you. This is about a father and a daughter. The director is Mikhail Dudak. This is a great and amazing film. In the beginning, it may seem there aren't any major events, and you might think that you don't really get the idea which the director wants us to understand. We are just watching. But at some stage, we suddenly notice that our soul starts to respond, that somehow the director went past us, our mind, directly to our soul, and our soul definitely responds to him. They're having a conversation. How did he do that? It's amazing. With great pleasure, let me share it with you.